was the last corporate job that I had. The inner voice, that subtle and loving voice, starting to get louder and louder.
If you are stuck into that burnout hole,
And it takes really a great courage and brave to get out of that.
because everybody is unique in their own personalities, in their own persona.
The progress might not seem big, but always remember, when you do your best every single day, you're gonna get there.
When you stop pleasing anyone, you finally start living your life.
The universe won't give you the challenges that you're not prepared to handle. And
It's all about being the authentic version of yourself. Some journeys are loud, and some are quiet, and some are about reclaiming the one thing we gave away without realizing it, our own voice. Today on Trust Your Journey 1.0, I'm joined by someone who doesn't just talk about authenticity, she lives it. From being a people pleaser and self doubter to becoming a global voice for emotional resilience, confidence, and courage. Cindy Marie reminds us that your voice is not something you earn, it's something you remember. Cindy Marie is a multi passionate life coach, speaker, singer, and podcast host who helps people reconnect with their authentic voice so they can live boldly and be unstoppable in their own lives. Her journey is deeply human and powerfully relatable. From being a people pleaser and living with self doubt to becoming a purpose driven guide for emotional resilience, confidence, and self trust. Cindy's work is rooted in lived experiences rather than theories. Having lived in 5 countries, Cindy brings a global, open hearted, and inclusive perspective towards everything she does. Her ability to create safe spaces where people feel truly seen, heard, and understood is at the core of her impact. She is the voice behind the Empower Your Life show, a podcast where she and her guests share real stories and practical tools to help listeners unlock their potential and create lives that feel authentic and aligned. Cindy Marie, welcome to Trust Your Journey 1.0. I am honored to host you on this podcast.
well, thank you so much. It's honor as well to being part of your show, Avinash. So likewise, thank you for being here.
Cindy, I know just to start the conversation, first of all, thank you for choosing to share your journey and everything. So, this leads to me the first question of mine, which is how did you find your inner voice? Cindy, your work revolves around helping people reconnect with their authentic voice. Looking back, when did you realize you had lost your own voice and what helped you begin finding it again?
Well, thank you for that question. Um, First thing that came to mind, actually, it was the last corporate job that I had. As the inner voice, that subtle and loving voice, starting to get louder and louder, that it is no longer your place to seek for validation, to please other people. Because what happened in that company, I mean, I would say that it's really a blessing in disguise. And I'm a big believer, always been, every challenging event giving you great lessons, if you see that way. And while, of course, during that moment it was challenging, right? I was in between of people pleasing and really reconnecting to my authentic voice, that listening to speak up. It was very challenging because I'm always having a constant battle within myself. That's why, as what everyone says, the worst enemy that you can have is yourself, right? And that level, I realized that, hang on a second, for many times I seek for validation, gaining achievements, accomplishments, promotions, whatever. I still feel unfulfilled. Something is still missing. And it only turned into burnout for me to really rest and listen to myself that it is time for you to give up whatever you have been programmed to believe in. And it's scary. But at the same time, I was already in the place or position that I was willing to really give up everything. And so I gave up that job. And my husband has always been supportive because he sees my values, he sees my worth and everything. And so I still have that kind of doubt within myself. But then towards the end, I said, you know what? Let's do it. No backup plan, quit the job and see what's going to happen. And after I quit the job, obviously a lot of people mocking me that, oh, you're going to be okay. After a while, you're going to find a job. And I said, I don't know if I have to look for a job, actually. Maybe this is the time for me to step back and really ask myself deeper questions. What do I really want in my life? And so that's how I started to listen to my beautiful and loving voice that she's always been there. She's always willing to guide me and to love me back for what I don't see from the outside. And so I started to explore. I started to be more adventurous. And for people watching or listening, if you pay attention to my YouTube, you will see the evolution of my content. I started with cooking, vlogging, traveling, all of that into where I am right now. And so from there on, I've been listening and loving myself. There are three parts of myself that I always listen to, which are the student, the teacher, and my inner child.
Beautifully, beautifully explained. The inner child, which you said it has to be there, the student has to be there. It's all about knowing that I think so many of us confuse being nice with being true to ourselves. We just try and please people, and we don't lose our voice overnight. We lose it slowly every time we choose approvals over the truth which we are onto. I'm glad, Cindy, that you found your voice and it's going to empower more people out there. Audience, if
Mm.
anybody is listening out there, if you are stuck into that burnout hole, comment Cindy, and Cindy will touch base you with Cindy to know more about her journey and what exactly it looked like from reality standpoint, because in words it cannot be described. It's all about emotions.
Mm.
Cindy, this leads to me to the second question of mine, because you have openly shared your journey from being a people pleaser and self doubter to a purpose driven woman. What was
Mm.
the emotional cost of people pleasing, and what changed when you finally chose yourself?
I think, everything. It costs everything. It costs your life, it costs your time, it costs your everything. And it started for me when I was younger because I was the only one born outside Philippines. And so I noticed the different treatments. And the only thing that you can ever think of when you're younger is to be loved, to be belonged. And so it cost me to be authentic, right? So I hide or I hid everything that I have. And because of that, it caused me to hid my everything, the talents that I have, the skills that I have, and the voice that I have. And when I started to realize that it is no longer the place for me to be seen as small, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just my sense of journey. And I'm the kind of person that don't define you what you chose to do or live, and people will define that that's a small job. That's not for me to say that. I admire people to choose whatever they want to choose that speaks to themselves. And so for me, the moment that I chose to live that way, it just freedom. It's freeing, you know. You realize that you have the power within you and you can do everything. And of course, like what you said, it's not an overnight event. It's not a progressive event that you have to reconnect. And I always say this to people that you can never expect an overnight changes when you yourself you repress and you suppress your inner self for many years. So expect some challenges, expect some constant battles with yourself, and also expect challenges from the outside of you. But the moment that you embrace yourself, I can tell to everyone based on my experience that I'm saying this from a place of love. I care less, really, about what people opinions will be. Everyone has the right to share their opinions, and it's up to me how I can perceive that. And so do what you can and live the life that you want to live. And at the same time, of course, I'm sharing this from a perspective of bigger picture. But if we break it down, there's so many factors that we have to consider for you to be able to speak the way maybe you want how I speak, how I sound confident. But one thing I can tell you is that you can do it too. I'm no difference, you know? So, yeah.
And as you said, it's all about reconnecting with your own voice. Many people don't realize that people pleasing isn't kindness, it's often fear dressed as love. And
Mm,
someone said this thing to us, said this thing that when you stop pleasing anyone, you finally start living your life.
mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I'm glad, Cindy, that you chose your own voice. And I've noticed that the moment when we stop people pleasing, we don't lose people, we lose illusions around us.
I love you mentioned about illusions. I always say that we're living in an illusion world, so might as well live the life that you meant to live. And I mean, it's easier for us to share and have a discussion with that because we did the inner work, right? So it's very important that we do the inner work for us to understand who we are being and why we're here and what's our mission and purpose here individually, because you and I, we have different blueprints.
True.
And I mean, that goes to comparison, right? That's why we also feel self doubts. We also feel people pleasing. It's because there's certain programming within us that we can't really blame other people as well because it's been generation
True.
up until now program, and it takes really a great courage and brave to get out of that, even though you have to let go of memories, people, and that includes your family or closest to you. Because for me, when I finally chose to being authentic, I also committed to myself that I am going to leave or walk away.
And that's the beauty of your journey, Cindy, that it teaches you emotional resilience in real life.
Mhm.
This leads to me the third question of this podcast. You speak a lot about emotional resilience. For someone
Mhm.
listening right now who feels overwhelmed or stuck emotionally, what does resilience actually look like in a daily life, not in theory?
I would say first that when we feel lost or overwhelmed, it's not actually a problem or a challenge, it's a blessing. It means that you started to question the program that no longer working for you, right? And to answer your question, how does the emotional resilience look like on a daily basis? First thing first is to be kind to yourself. To be kind to yourself and acknowledge that while you have so many goals to achieve on a daily basis, you also have certain things that you can say no for that, and that's okay. Remembering that you are living for your own mission and purpose with the guidance and connection with a higher purpose or with a higher source, and whatever you believe in, I always challenge people that we are not the only creatures or species living here. There are beyond. So when what you believe in, you reconnect with them as well. I always say this, that they love you so much that they just want the best for you. So if you started to step back and live life according to the best that you can, and that's the best that you can. So acknowledge that and celebrate the wins, however small that. And I always challenge people, don't look into the bigger stuff, because when you look at the bigger stuff, that's also makes you feel overwhelmed or having more self-doubts that you cannot achieve it. It's because you're already looking at the bigger picture instead of breaking into chunks, right? Do the best that you can. And I love, because that's how I embody as well, be playful, have fun.
True.
Yeah, so don't take life too seriously. And I am always going back to what you said. I'm going to stick with that. Life is full of illusion. If you want to make a wonderful illusion, might as well live the life that you want and express that, because people. And the other thing is that the only thing that you constantly having doubts on your mind, it's because of your own thoughts.
True.
Because if you're really gonna break down who said so, yes, there will be people who will saying so, but it's up to you. Again, we're gonna go back to processes, the strategies, the practices. These are all very important for you to be able to have that kind of emotional resilience, that I can do what I can, and I will still celebrate the achievements that I have, less comparison to other people, because I do me. I
Mhm.
do me, you do you, and we achieve whatever we can and celebrate with that and be happy. Be content wherever you are right now while you're working on your bigger goals. The most important is that stay grounded as you slowly achieve. And don't forget that you're human. So when you need to rest, rest. You don't need to explain to people why you chose to rest or why you chose to change your mind or decision. And that leads to so many factors that you have to build, which is very doable. And from people pleaser to live your life is through setting healthy boundaries.
True.
So that's one of the things that how you can see emotional resilience. Three factors. You have to build healthy boundaries, meaning to say that you have to say no when it's not supposed to be yes, right? So, and don't feel guilty about that. And again, I'm coming from a place of experience, and maybe the listeners or the viewer would say it's so easy for you to say that. Maybe yes at this moment. But don't forget, I've been through wherever you are maybe going through. And if I can move forward, so you can too.
And that's the beauty of any transformation journey, Cindy, that it makes you evolve in your life, not in your personal life, but in your professional life as well. So, if anybody is struggling currently to build that emotional resilience, I've always seen people confuse resilience with strength. But resilience often looks like pausing, which you said, crying it out, and still choosing to show up, which you did always.
Mhm.
And this is what transformed you, because resilience isn't about never breaking, it's about learning how
Mhm.
to rebuild ourselves on a daily basis. Cindy, I'm grateful that you chose this path. Just a cosmetic question in between. Did you feel more yourself away from familiarity, or like how does the journey looks like? What did different cultures teach you about self-expression in this journey?
Well, I have a built-in something within me that I love to challenge myself. So when I feel comfortable with something, then I would ask myself, okay, I feel comfortable now. So the next, let's move to the next form. And basically, from your question, is that it's it's always opening yourself for the evolution and transformation. It's not always that easy, right? Especially when you're getting out from your familiar place. And my husband and I, we have talked about it multiple times because we are all different human beings, even though we have, interconnection with something. For me, I love to challenge myself. I always love to get out of comfortable place. But I still have some routines that I feel that it's helpful for me. And getting out of familiar places, familiar faces, familiar memories would not be as easy. However, it's always going back to asking yourself, why do you want to do it? What's the purpose behind of doing so? And like I've said earlier, I did a lot of deeper questions, harsh questions, honest questions to myself. And when you felt the clarity within you that you're not doing it, a lot of people misunderstood when you actually took this path, which is very unfamiliar for many, is that you're being selfish. But I would highlight this to people that whatever we are doing, you will benefit in the long run. One of those things is that we are the first ones who's breaking the generational hold so that for the next generation, they will not experience the same as the ones that we had. And the same thing, it's up to those people whether they want to challenge themselves or they will be inspired by our transformation. There will always be people who will not like it, but that's the reality. That's the way it is. As long as you move away yourself from a place of love, kindness, appreciation, and gratitude, I would say I have no guilty on that because I forgive people for all the pain that caused. I forgive myself, and at the same time, I don't hold those pain memories within me. Many people have backstabbed me, betrayed me, all of those things that we all have the same experiences in different angles. But the most important is that don't move away for transformation with bitterness, all of this negativity, because that will keep coming back to you. And that will also add more struggle into your transformation because it is all about love while you grow. You have to remember that you're doing it with the ingredient of love and be the first one to step up and show the people that there's more beauty than programming ourselves into what we believed that limiting us to become unstoppable.
And that's the beauty of any transformation journey that it will declutter all your emotions, it will declutter all your relationships, which you were thinking about your friends, so called friends. It will declutter everything. So, audience, if anybody is listening right now, just understand the fact behind Cindy's journey. It's not about knowing your pains, it's all about converting that pain into power.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cindy, this leads to me another question of mine because you said being unstoppable. And
Yes.
because unstoppable means, does not mean that we are not pausing or we are not doing anything. It's all about without burnout, how we can be unstoppable. Your message is be unstoppable, Cindy. How do you
Mm-hmm.
redefine being unstoppable in a way that doesn't lead to burnout, perfectionism, or self pressure?
Yes. Thank you for that question. I believe that we are living in a world where there's just constant noise, constant comparison. And that's the other purpose of the world we're living in, this material world. They will do their best to push you, to influence you, to program you that you have to do more. When you do more, then you can be more successful. You have to have more. So when you have more, then you will be seen perfect, or you will gain some respect or more influence. However, being unstoppable doesn't mean those things that you are nonstop. You don't stop doing stuff. The being unstoppable for me really is coming from a place of slowing things down to speed up life.
Wow.
When you want to live longer in a place of mission and purpose, you really have to step back all the way and challenge yourself that, oh my God, okay, I gotta slow down. I gotta know what works for me, what triggers me, everything about me. Not from a place of selfishness, again, not from a place of narcissist. We're talking about from a place of leader that wants to make a big impact, however big or small that is, for the purpose of your mission to be accomplished here. So when you step back, you acknowledge everything. And being unstoppable also doesn't mean that you don't rest. Being unstoppable means you know exactly when you need to rest. You know exactly when you need to say no. You know exactly when you have to separate yourself from those people, from those information, from those medium or resources that no longer serving you. These are the definitions of being unstoppable, meaning to say that you've got to know yourself better so that anything that will cause you delay, anything that will influence you to stop, you can step back and you can handle and respond to it powerfully because you're no longer from a place of distraction. You are from a place of being true to yourself when you need to rest, when you need to have a conversation, like a tough conversation with someone, you live that way. And also, for me, being unstoppable really when you don't see the great results yet, the breakthroughs, nobody can stop you because you know yourself that you're not doing it by yourself. You have constant guidance, you have constant support from the higher power. And being unstoppable also means that whenever you take tiny step, it feels so aligned that you're doing it from a place of for the goodness. You don't have anything to prove yourself externally. That for me being unstoppable, that you can just move forward, wake up and be awesome and be able to express that without caring what other people say, but also knowing that you're not performing because people can be unstoppable too from a performance place. But for me, it's a very different one. Again, I always come back from the love, the kindness, the discernment, and the wisdom of being unstoppable, of who you are being, and what's your mission and purpose for you to accomplish here.
And that's what being unstoppable means, because unstoppable doesn't mean a force which is not being able to it's not a force, it's a flow which goes into your daily routine. Sometimes the most unstoppable people aren't running faster, they are finally standing still and choosing alignment every single day. And that's what you chose, Cindy. Cindy, can you share a simple daily practice, a question people should ask to themselves, one thing people should stop doing immediately?
Oh, that's, um, you know, the first thing that I would share to people so they can see constant progress, however small that is, Be open, stay curious, stay courageous, and open for experimentation and exploration, and be open to welcome anything that God or the universe will instruct you. And I always say this, share the message to them that I am ready, I am open, I'm willing, I'm here. So the moment that you embody that, express that to yourself along with them, then you know that the guidance, the instructions will be given to you every single day. And again, I'm going to highlight again over and over and over again, step back. Practice to step back. Because if you don't step back, pause, and reset, you're not able to see that or grasp that or absorb all the information, all the instruction, all the guidance coming from the higher source, even from you, because deep inside of you, there will always be loving, gentle voice that will guide you. And one of the things that guarantee that you're in the right place, when you feel at peace, when you are not feeling at peace on the daily routine that you do, especially if you're not making it fun and playful ways, it means that you have to constantly re strategize,
Yeah.
pivot, see other ways. Because when it's really aligned with you, you just kind of feel it as natural ways. So always ask yourself, especially the first thing in the morning, how can I be better version of myself? What can I do today that's different from yesterday? What are those things that I've learned from yesterday that I want to shift today? And always ask yourself, maybe every hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of consciousness and awareness for you to be able to do that. But first thing in the morning will be the first great thing for you to start. Ask yourself big questions and don't be afraid. The only thing that you are afraid of is because you never start. I personally would like to challenge you. Keep on challenging yourself with deeper questions, because the more you do that, the more it feels lighter for you to handle the next deeper questions. It's like building the muscle, right? You have to train it. If you don't train it, it won't get lighter and lighter, so you can heavy lift more and more. So ask deeper questions and seek guidance and express that your willingness and readiness, and slowly but surely allow yourself to receive that and believe. The most important is to believe. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe yourself, nobody will. So you have to start with yourself, and remember to challenge your thoughts. Your thoughts also very, very dangerous one, because you are not your thoughts. And again, this is why previously our friends, colleagues, and family members, these are all our coaches,
Yeah.
right? Guidance. Now we have our own. We have to hire, because every individual has own challenges to face. And so if you feel that you genuinely ready to transform, seek mentor, seek guidance, however that is, whatever that is that you feel work for you, follow that step, because know that you're not doing it alone. Know that you can't have it by yourself. Everything will be shared, everyone willing to help you. And of course, you have to be also selective with those people who you want to seek for guidance, because in the world that we're living right now, it can be also a trap when you seek for help. So again, I am, how do you call it? I am compressing the answers, but most important is that just be willing. Once you're willing, express your readiness and ask deeper questions, the rest will show itself naturally.
And beautifully said. Ask, seek, receive, believe, be bold enough to take that one step every single day. That's what you said. That's what being unstoppable means. And sometimes healing doesn't start with doing more, it's all about with being honest to ourselves. Just accept yourself the way you are. And audience, if anybody is listening, if this question is felt relatable for you as well, that you want to be unstoppable but you're not able to have that those practices, just follow Cindy Marie's work, how she has transformed her life, and there are many others as well who are on the same path guiding you. Cindy, this leads to me the last question of this section, because it's all about trusting your journey.
Oh,
If
yes.
someone is in a phase where their journey doesn't make any sense yet, like it happens with everyone, self doubts are everywhere, what would you say to help them trust it anyway?
I would say go back to why you started it. Why did you want to do it from the first place? And it's normal. It's normal to have a constant roller coaster in our lives, especially when we are shedding away our old version that no longer our version, right? When we are separating ourselves from those familiar places, things, and faces, give yourself compassion, empathy, and love that when you do transformation, it's not going to be easy in the beginning because it's like I love the story about when you force the butterfly to get out from the cocoon, you think that you're helping that. Actually, no. You're damaging the fluid transformation of that butterfly. So, for me, I would say people just be gentle with yourself and it's okay. Just be honest with yourself that when you that is the reason why I love authenticity because authenticity means integrity. Speak your truth. When you speak your truth, you will definitely work around with your imposter syndrome. That's the cause of imposter syndrome because you don't speak truth to yourself. Just be honest when you're really not feeling well, when you're not feeling progressive with whatever you do. Just be okay. But always remember that this is a part of the journey. Every single people that you aspire to become, I can guarantee you they will not say, oh, it's an overnight success. I'll give you the perfect formula. There's no such thing as perfect formula because you and I were different. So that is why my message is do you, be you. So you can be unstoppable the way you do, the way you be. And the other thing is that always remember that you are not doing it alone, right? So when you apply that loving, kind, gratitude, and discernment to yourself and to people around you, always have the higher source as your center to guide you. I will tell you, Avinash, back then I've always believed with God, always been. But my relationship with them now is very different compared to before. I learned to be more in a place of surrender, that I can do the best I can every day. Be more intentional. Be intentional with the choices that you make every day. And we feel we're not progressing always. It's because we are in a place of comparison, really. Because if we don't, we're not going to feel that. So I would always tell to people to remind yourself that your life is different, your journey is different, your experience is different. So celebrate that and focus on you. Always focus on you. The progress might not seem big, but always remember when you do your best every single day, you're going to get there, right? I remember these two quotes. what's the name? Was it Carl Bard? He says not everyone can start something, but not everyone can finish. And the other quote was like, I think it's Jim something George. I don't remember. He said it's not how you start that's important, it's how you finish what matters. So always look into longer term. Think about longer term and always slow things down to speed up life. And it's okay to feel comparing yourself. I do feel that. And I believe I shared that with Avinash the last time we have spoken. It's okay. It's normal. Acknowledge that I feel I'm comparing myself again. God, it's okay. Laugh about it. The most important is that, okay, you acknowledge now you are being more conscious and self aware. What are you going to do about it? Right? If it's not helping you, it's not serving you, acknowledge your feeling. Never ever forget to not acknowledge yourself. Never ever dismiss your feelings. Your feelings matters. Your voice matters and your experience matters. Whatever you have to offer on the table, it will build into the right community. So just keep moving forward, keep showing up, and believe in yourself. As I always say, because you've got what it takes to make a positive impact in this planet Earth and you are unique. So just do you, be you.
And that's what your unique voice transforms, because everybody is unique in their own personalities, in their own persona, but we are all connected by one light, one sun. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if we are connected by one light, that means we all have same kind of emotions. It will be similar kind of emotions only, which will be going through. If anyone from our audience gets resonated with what Cindy is mentioning, that it's all about consistency over perfectionism. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
taking courage over your confidence issues every day. It's all about self trusting every time over validation when you're seeking for validation. And I just recall a line from Rumi that why are you busy looking for your soul? The door is inside you only.
Mm.
Yeah. And every journey only makes sense when we stop resisting it. It's all about
Yes.
acceptance, which you mentioned. It's all about connecting with the divine purpose, with the divine, the light which is guiding us, the path, and taking one step at a time. Otherwise, it will be an overwhelming journey. It is not an easy transformational journey, but it's a step by step journey. It's an easy road then ahead once you take that step. Thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing such deep insights. I am grateful to hear all the insights which you have mentioned, and I'm sure audience would also resonate with the journey, the transformation which you have went through your own voice, finding your own voice, finding that resistance inside yourself, that resilience and everything. It shows up in your way of communication as well now, how confident you look. I'm sure this must had not been the past version of yours, but this is your present version, so we are embracing it. Audience, please mention Cindy Marie in the comments if you like the conversation. Now, we'll be switching gears, Cindy. This is section two of our podcast, which is the rapid fire round, Cindy, wherein we'll be going the fun side of your life, what exactly you do in your personal life and everything, some cosmetic questions to know more about you. So, we'll be doing it on a fun basis, but on a rapid
Okay.
way. Yeah. One word
Yeah.
answer or
Okay.
one line answer. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, welcome to the section two of our podcast, which is the rapid fire round. So, Cindy, first question, it will be a light, warm, human, and playful, which will be going. No overthinking, just first thought, whatever
Yeah.
comes to your mind. Yeah.
Yes.
Cindy, first question from our rapid fire round. One word your younger self needed to hear today.
You're awesome.
And I know you are awesome. Cindy, second question. A song that reconnects you instantly with yourself. You're a singer too. You have got a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Hero.
And that sounds like a heroic journey which you have went through, the transformation
Yes.
which you have went through. Cindy, comfort zone or growth zone, which scared you more?
Scared me more. I think it's the comfort zone.
It's always
I love to
scary to be in
challenge
between.
myself, like I told you earlier.
It's always we always seek comfort, that oh, I'll be into this challenge zone, then I'll be into the comfort zone, but it's never a comfort zone. It's always into the challenge mode which you're on to. Cindy, next question. One habit that changed your life emotionally.
One habit that changed my life. Oh, uh, journaling with myself and also with the higher power.
And journaling and connecting with your higher self, it will help you reconnect with your soul's voice. That's what you did. Cindy, next question from our rapid fire round. Voice or silence? Which is harder to choose?
I think that's tough question. I would leave it as depends with the situation. But the first thing that came to mind actually is silence.
And it's very difficult to choose silence because we are all vocal beings and we love
Yeah.
producing those sounds. So glad you answered that. Cindy, you have been into multiple countries. A country that changed you the most.
I would say Singapore for now because that was the longest place or country that I have lived. That was the place where I experienced freedom from a place of my home country, Philippines. And then that also my place of freedom where I started to reconnect with my authentic self.
Wow. Wow. And I'm sure all the experiences which you went through in different countries, it must have given you some sort of experiences, some unique experiences about that country.
Yes.
Cindy, a fear you no longer obey. I'm sure that we are all emotional beings, right? The fear is always there on a daily basis, but one fear which you no longer obey.
One fear that I'm not good enough. That's no longer working for me. So that used to be my fear in myself that you're not good enough. Therefore, people, you have these factors. You're not good enough. Therefore, you're not being loved enough. Therefore, you're not successful enough, and so on and so forth. But now fear for me now is a part of journey. I embrace fear. It's normal for me to feel fear, but it doesn't have any more that strong impact as I used to. Nervousness is different. When you're nervous, it shows being grounded, right? It shows also being humbled with what you do. But fear, I love I love to challenge myself. Therefore, all of this fear is just a noise, also a guidance for you that there's something that you have to overcome more. So, let's face it. Let's embrace it.
So fear is all about face everything and rise. Everybody understands this, that fear is nothing. It's a path given to us to choose faith, because after fear, the faith will come.
Oh.
Faith will be coming. Cindy, next question from our rapid fire round. A compliment that you struggled to accept it earlier. I'm sure there must be many compliments which you must have been receiving, regardless of the fact that the world doubts
I
it.
I think people would always see me very happy, optimistic person that sometimes I mean it's good to acknowledge, but sometimes people have this perception that I don't feel low or down. So sometimes I can't really accept that because of the connection with that compliment. That when people saying, "Oh, you're always optimistic." Okay, well, what does that optimistic means to you? So, but now since I have did the work within myself, whatever that say to me, I would just say thank you.
It's all about being grateful about whatever you have went through, and that's what you are. Cindy, one thing people misunderstand about confidence.
That you have to fake it until you make it. I used to believe that. Uh, but I think what many people misunderstood that you've got to be in a place of your true self and embrace the experiences that you have. See that as a beautiful part of your transformation and share that. And then that becomes true confidence because you're not expressing and communicating from a place of you have not experiencing it, like how you introduce me. Everything is based on experience, not a theory. So when you communicate, there's a depth, and people will feel and see and sense that. And that's what I said about fake it until you make it, something that I used to believe. Now I will challenge that. I am challenging that.
And I would say, don't fake it, take it until you make it.
Oh, there you go. Take it until you make it.
Next question, Cindy, from our rapid fire round. One word you would use to describe your past self.
One word.
Yes.
I think it's two. It's people pleaser.
That's the core of the podcast, I would say.
Yeah, I mean that's how I used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I used to believe to be belong. So yeah,
Cindy, complete this sentence. I am unstoppable when I dash.
I am unstoppable when I let go of anything that's holding me back. Just move freely.
Just let go, audience. And Cindy, that was honest, raw, and beautifully human, which you have showcased. This comes to the end of our rapid fire round. I know the conversation which we had, it's not about me or you, it's about resonating it with the audience too, that we are humans out here doing this podcast. If anybody is listening, we are also humans, but we went through a transformational journey, and this is the reason why we are recording this podcast, to help people more look into their inner self, because that's
Hmm.
what helps in their journeys. Cindy, I would love to start with the section 3 of the podcast now, which will be going deep diving into your journey, the pains,
Okay.
the struggles, the learnings which you've went through during this transformation journey of yours. I can understand it from a healing standpoint, that what all it takes, from emotional resilience standpoint, from not being supported by the society, not being supported by anyone around, and how someone can pull their strings and be a version which they always wanted to become. Cindy,
Hmm.
first question from our section 3 of the podcast: the silent struggles which you went through. What was one invisible struggle in your journey that people never saw but shaped you the most you are today?
You might not believe it. People might not believe it. I have been wanting to give up multiple times in my life when I did this transformation. But guess what? After just couple of hours of crying, feeling low, feeling down, God, I'm up again. Whether you believe it, Avinash, or not, I always have that moment that I just couldn't take it anymore, please God. I can't. But as what they always say, the universe won't give you the challenges that you're not prepared to handle. And so every time I'm facing that, I always say, "Oh my God, you really think I'm that strong, huh?" Okay. Because I get shocked. I get surprised by myself too. So whether people believe it or not, just the universe knows it better than I do. So again, as I talked earlier, since I did the inner work, when I feel that moment of super down, I will just go on rest. I don't care if I have to do something. I will be very honest with myself and embrace whatever I feel. If I require a day, which normally doesn't require me a day, sometimes it makes me feel, oh my God, God, you really believe that I am that very, very strong. And I sometimes have that conversation to myself that, yeah, I guess I'm strong because I can face everything like this. I mean, I don't think a lot of people will be able to handle and respond in a loving way like this. And so, okay, I guess you really have big mission and purpose for me. So, my next message is that let's do it. Just give me, this is what I always say, help me to keep myself strong and be able to face this in whatever plans you have for me to make a positive impact, because it's not always easy, but when you have that guidance and you're always remembering to surrender, then that makes you feel lighter as well.
And that's the beauty of your journey, Cindy, that so many journeys look strong from outside standpoint, the way we look, right? But it's the same fragile conditions inside. It's the same thing. We have transformed ourselves, but still the fragility of being an emotional being, it will always be staying with us because we are all emotional beings, right? And these emotions only connects us with each other,
Yes.
nothing else. We are all connected by one light. That's what we mentioned. From the audience standpoint as well, if we talk about audience, listen to this. You don't have to make it pretty always. It doesn't have to be a beautiful transformation story. It doesn't works like this. It just has to be a real and authentic transformation story, that you're going through that journey, you are going through that pain, you're going through those struggles, and that's the decluttering of the layers which you are, which you want to transform into the next version of yours. So thank you so much, Cindy, for answering this question, because it takes a courage to accept your own faults as well. Even I doubt I doubted a lot, whether I'm gonna give up, I'm gonna give up, but this is the main thing which kept me moving forward. Oh no, I have to trust my journey, because there's a bigger impact, which there's a purpose which has to be unfolded, and let's trust the divine which is guiding us, right? And that's what you did. But I understand that growth doesn't comes from being into a comfortable situation. There must be some pains as well behind every transformation, and nobody understands the pain which a single individual is going through at that point in time.
Hmm.
Was there a moment, Cindy, where pain became your greatest teacher rather than your enemy?
To be honest with you, pain has always been part of who I am becoming. And I don't see pain as that I have to avoid. It's part of my journey, and I know that. And so for me, pain is it's a package of transforming who you're supposed to become. It's like when you're polishing the diamond, diamond can't be like that without that pressure, right? So it's the same for me. I see from the early age that pain is part of the journey. If I don't if I don't see that perspective that pain is part of the journey, I don't see myself would be as discerning and loving and kind to people. Because if I constantly see pain as, you know, routing you to bad place, then I wouldn't be able to where I am right now. But since it's my perspective that pain is part of the journey, it's like failure, as what they say. It's not really a failure. It's just that we label that way. So it's the same thing with pain. Don't be don't take pain as part of, how can I say it? Don't take pain as a part of a situation whereby it's not helping you to unlock of who you are becoming. It is actually your path. So whenever you experience pain, that's also a guidance for you that you're shedding something, that you are not connecting with your true self, that something deep inside of you is actually alarming you or giving you sign that, hey, I feel this. Just like the body, I have a very attune with my body. When my body tells me too much of eating this and that, it will react and I will stop immediately and I will have a conversation with my body. So it's the same thing with pain. Okay, what is this pain actually teaching me? So that's my answer to you, that I am very grateful that I always been seeing pain as part of the evolution or transformation of my being.
And pain is often, uh, it often arrives uninvited. There's no invitation. Who wants to invite any pain into their life, right? But it leaves with wisdom, which anybody is seeking in their lives, because pain teaches us everything. The 9 months of pain, just consider a child being born, the
Oh yeah.
transformation. Yeah, so 9 months of pain it takes for a life to come on this planet, for humans. And this is the beauty of pain, that once we understand the psychology, the connects, the dots behind everything, whatever we are going through in our lives, we'll be able to analyze the layers behind why it is happening, why this
Mhm.
spiral is forming, why this pain is coming in our life. So I'm glad, Cindy, you answered this question. Cindy, next question from our section 3 of the podcast. What are the top lessons your journey has taught you that you now pass on to others?
First, of course, would be authentically you. And yeah, I think that's the first thing. When you live by being authentically you, you can speak your truth. And you also going to invite the person that meant for you in your journey. Also, meaning to say that you are going to lose a lot of people in your life, but that will bring you an open space so that the right people, the right events, right things will fall into your place. Because if you're not able to release that, to shed that away, there's no way that you can transform. Maybe you can see the difference, but if you're gonna keep yourself into the same place, meaning same circle of friends, circle of environment, same routines, habits, and resources, then you will not see or experience the changes that you want. And I think it's Einstein who said that if you constantly doing the same and you expect different results, then that's foolish, something like that. So it's the same thing. I've learned that you have to be really the most authentically you. And through all of that, there will be a lot of top lessons, but I would say embracing of who you are is is the greatest gift that I really embody myself. And I have been sharing to people that nobody can ever take away the person who you are becoming. That's because that's who you are. So never ever underestimate yourself. Never ever belittle yourself. If everyone around you saying so, that's actually a signal for you to walk away. Seek guidance first, of course, and then have a proper process because you're going to go for grieving as well of letting go. But I would say really embrace who you are so that who you want to become will show constantly, slowly but surely, and you'll be able to accomplish the mission and the purpose that you're meant to live on this planet Earth.
And how beautifully you described it, Cindy, that it's all about being the authentic version of yourself. Let it go doesn't mean that you're letting go all the people or anything like that. No, it's all about letting go of the emotional attachment towards everything, whatever is happening around us. And the beauty of any transformation, it happens with one change. And that one change is all about changing your environment. It will change everything, the people, the places, and everything. Change your environment. It shifts your energy zones. And
Mm-hmm.
once you are into a right energy zone, that's where your decluttering and the peeling of the layers of your which doesn't serve your soul and everything is it started. And you did it, Cindy, beautifully. I know the listeners out there currently who are listening to us, who have watched this podcast completely with us currently. If you could speak directly to one listener who feels unseen, unheard, and unsure today, what would you want them to know right now?
Okay. I'm going to share tough love to you. If you feel that way, it means that you're coming from a place of validating yourself from external. Now, if you want to feel seen, heard, validated, start with yourself. Start with yourself. How can I be more loving to myself? How can I see myself more? How can I understand myself more? What are those things that are actually beautiful about me, within me? Start to love yourself more and understand that we are all going through the same statements. But what's the missing piece is that to look within, to see within, to feel within, use all your senses within. The moment that you embrace of investing to yourself, again, it's not coming from a selfishness. It is coming from a place of love because you believe with yourself, because you do believe with yourself that you have something to offer in this world. And there's just constant noise. So just step back and process that. Really believe in yourself. Believe that you have it. And don't be so hard to yourself because you have been programmed. Everyone, Avinash, myself, we have been programmed to believe that we're limited. We're in a box. We can't do more than one thing. Start to question that. Start to challenge those thoughts and love yourself. Tell to yourself that, you know what? Yeah, I can be better than where I am right now. And I can change. Always love yourself and challenge your thoughts and be willing to really acknowledge that this is not your fault, not everyone's fault. It just happened that you believe that you have something to offer. So take and process your senses. You're not thinking about that message not for a great reason. You're actually thinking about that message because the universe, yourself, your inner voice already sending you message that yes, you're being heard. You're feeling seen. Now let's work it together. Let's work it hand by hand. As I mentioned earlier, use your teacher, use your student, and embrace your inner child. Okay, inner child, come to me. Teach me. What can I do now to feel seen, to feel heard? And that's the message that I would tell to someone that listening right now. I'm going to tell you that If you feel that way, first is because of the comparisons that we're experiencing, but this is not your fault. Nobody's fault. But it's a great news that you're feeling it. It means that maybe, just maybe, you're ready for the next steps.
And that's the beauty of anybody's life's transformation journey, that once you start embracing your own self, that's what you mentioned. Once you start embracing your inner self, the inner child, which you mentioned, once you start connecting the dots of your own life, the past life, the present life, and how you want your future to be, your life will automatically guide you. The light will automatically guide you what step you need to take now for that particular day. So just embrace whatever Cindy's mentioned, that it's all about embracing your life with joy, with happiness. Cindy, I know there must be a deeper purpose behind whatever work you're trying to do out here, the legacy, your vision, what exactly your mission is, right? So, looking ahead, what is the ultimate vision you hold for yourself, for your clients, and the world of souls, the leadership out there? What do you want your legacy to be, and how can people reach out to you?
Thank you so much for this conversation. I appreciate for this opportunity. Uh, I think my message will always be the same. You know, I want to live this planet Earth by unfolding the best version of myself, being true to myself, aligned with who I am being, and expressing that to the world, not in a perfect world, but in the most authentic, raw piece of myself, that you can be really you. Embrace that. You have the gift to offer in this planet Earth by being you. It's not going to be easy. Is it worth it? I definitely do so. And that's the journey I'm taking. And I want to challenge more people that we are living in a world of materialism. And if you're constantly going to live that way, good luck on that. But if you feel deep inside of you that you have something to offer, believe in that. That's something that I always help people is to let's do what we can do for you that works for you so that I can give strategies, formulas to people based on my experience. But that's not the case. I'm not here to please you either. I'm here to unfold the best version of you so that you feel heard, you feel seen, you feel validated, you feel worthy. And that's my message to everyone. And that's the legacy that I want to live. Really, the final message, which I always say to the universe whenever I have a conversation as well: use me, Lord. Use me as your tool, as your instrument to fulfill whatever mission and purpose that you have assigned for me. And that's what I want. And that's I've been committed myself to and make a positive impact. So, however little, however big would that be, I would say that I did my best, God. So if it's my time now, then it's my time.
And you are living a journey, Cindy, that will transform on a daily basis. I'm sure the transformation which you have went through. It's not about living it for your own self. You are there to empower other beings out there, other souls out there. This is the reason why you shared your journey. And this wasn't just a conversation, Cindy. It was a reminder that our voice doesn't disappear. It just waits for our own connection, whether we want to connect with our voice or not. That our story doesn't weaken us, it always shapes us. And that being unstoppable doesn't mean being fearless, it means being faithful to yourself every single day. Thank you, Cindy, for reminding again that your voice matters, our journey is valid, and becoming unstoppable doesn't mean becoming someone else. It means finally becoming ourselves. If this conversation touched you, sit with it and reflect. And most importantly, always, always, always trust your journey. Cindy, how can people reach out to you? How can, if you have any
Oh, yeah.
programs, how people can reach out to you if anything they need any support from your side for your empowerment coaching, with the being unstoppable, which you mentioned. How can people touch base with you?
Well, thank you so much for asking me that again. I forgot. uh, People can find me at Cindy Marie Azur. That's my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. These are the social medias that I'm active. And there are two ways that I usually help people, whether that's on one coaching. And then the second one is that if you feel that you are going to have your own pace of emotional resilience, so I usually offer emotional website yet for the time being. But if you feel that it resonated with you, our conversation, our reminders, you can definitely send me a message on the website, which is cindymarie.net, or again on social media, Cindy Marie Azur. And be specific for your message because we don't normally just respond quickly. We are being selective as well, and my the message on the website also very important and very detailed. So if you have any queries, anything with with collaborations, with the programs or coaching, just drop me a message at Cindy Marie Azur or cindymarie.net. Thank you.
Audience, the voice you're searching for is the voice you have always been silencing. Understand that growth doesn't ask for any permission, it just asks for your honesty. If this conversation touched you, sit with it, and if it stirred something inside you, don't ignore it. This might be your signal to just trust your journey and begin with it. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We'll see you in another episode. Thank you so much, Cindy, for helping me embrace this podcast because it's a beautiful thing to listen to your soulful voice. I'll see you in another episode. Thank you so much.